So hello and welcome to another chair or seated yoga class in the depths of winter. So I hope everyone's doing okay, or even better. So keeping warm for this session, so making sure you look after yourself. It won't be a long session, but if you need extra clothing on, or you need a different chair to settle into, or you need a drink to hand just to keep yourself hydrated and warm and feeling safe and good. That's an excellent idea. So anything you need to get yourself sorted, please do. And then find a chair that you think is going to be suitable to do a little bit of movement practice. Okay, so this week we're going to start in our centre. And we're just going to do a few movements to be a little bit more aware of the belly and the area in the pelvis and the hips, this lower area of the body. So stirring a little bit of energy, if you like, and just get a little bit more freedom in the centre of the body. So we'll start with something fairly straightforward, hopefully, which is literally just rocking forward from the sitting bones or from the hips. So we're not bending from our middle back to me bending, from our lower back to me bending from our lower back, and bringing all this forward and back. Yeah. So you might feel your sitting bones on the chair. You might not. And you might just feel this sense of, it's almost like a hinging forward and back, to just get a little bit of energy for the hips and the centre of the body. At the shoulders, if you can, relax down. That's partly hands on the knees, or just give you a little bit of sense of weight through the arms and the hands to give that sense of release for the shoulders as you just take a little bit of movement forward and back. And you just find a way, just find your own rhythm. Yeah, so you don't need to come very far, don't want to create any discomfort, but you just want to, as I say, wake up the centre of the body. Hips, pelvis, be more conscious of the lower back and the belly in movement. And settle back. That may have also given a sense of the spine, feeling of the spine through the whole of the back, just from that movement, because we were kind of, the spine would have been moving with us, hopefully, and just getting that sense of energy through the spine. So we'll rock from side to side, so buttock to buttock, or sitting bone to sitting bone, and just see how that feels. So that will be waking up not just the pelvis, but we're waking up the butt, bottom to bottom, and waking up the thighs a little bit. And the whole of the torso is moving from side to side. So you might feel a little bit of the side body, the shoulders. As you feel the hands maybe even gently move, if the hands are rested on your lap, on your knees, on your thighs somewhere. So again, we're just looking for a comfortable rock, making sure we don't over rock and slip off our chair. So being careful about what's sensible on the chair that you've got at the moment, to just take that steady and rhythmic movement from side to side. So the idea of also these movements forward and back, side to side, is it is a soothing movement. It's a soothing, relaxing, kind of nurturing movement. Movements we would do maybe with trying to settle a child down with a young baby or something. So we're just trying to find that for ourselves now. And coming into, eventually into centre again. And be really interested where you feel warm, where you feel a sense of tingliness, positive tingliness that is, or energy inside the body, which you may or you may not feel, but just be interested in that. So although the movements have been in the centre of the body, from the centre of the body, you might feel your feet a little bit more connected to the ground as we've gone from side to side. You might feel your hands maybe a little bit more warm, or a little bit, again, more connected to sense of a connection with the clothing on your legs. Okay, so we've got another movement for the center, and I'm going to just sit a little bit further forward. So before I was generally sitting back, and I'll just come a little bit away from the bottom, but I've still firmly got my feet on the ground, and I feel kind of safe and solid here. And from that position, I'm going around in circles. So a different kind of energy from going back and forth or side to side. It's a different movement for the spine, different sensation for the side body. So you might feel a little bit more conscious of the side body, the movement of the rib cage, as you circle your way around. And again, I'm going fairly fast actually. You might want to go slower. Again, to make sure you're safe on the chair. And also, we all go at different paces. So going in the other direction, played around a little bit with that a moment ago. So just finding your own circle from your sitting bones. Try not to collapse. Just make collapse in. So it's me feeling tall through the movement. We breathe better if we can sit tall as well as stand tall. Otherwise, everything gets a little bit compressed in the center. Okay, so finding your way, back to stillness. Wonderful. So I don't know if you already have this sense of uplift through the center of the body, but if not, we'll just kind of remind our bodies what it feels like to lengthen a little bit through the spine. So the easiest way, or one of the easiest ways I find, is just taking the arms up above the head. So just allowing the arms to float up to wherever they float up and float down. And to keep that as a slow movement if you can. So joints can be all soft. Don't have to be a big reach, but just a sense of lengthening through the side body, and a feeling of lengthening and kind of a sense of an uplift feeling as you take the arms up. So we're encouraging that sense of the spine to grow from its base, or the tail, or the sacrum area around the pelvis, and to grow up into the skull and beyond. If you like the breathing part of yoga, then you can invite that to support your movements up and down. So you can take a breath in as the arms go up, and a breath out as the arms come down. But if that just gets too controlling, or feels too anxiety provoking, or feel like you're working really hard with your breath, then just let your breath be soft overlay on the movement and around the movement. But if it feels like, yes, I want to breathe in, yes, I feel ready to breathe out, then go for that. It'll be quite pleasant for the body to move and have an integration of the breath and movement as well. Okay, so we're going to slightly change this. You can take a break whenever you like if shoulders are feeling a little bit of discomfort or just need a break. So we're going to take the arms out to the side now, so you can allow the arms to not drop, but just rest by your side. And again, we keep the arms soft, so elbows soft, and even wrists soft if you like. You take your hands up to touch. I know you can't quite see. And bring the arms back down. Arms up. Maybe hands to touch. Almost like it was a slow motion clapping movement. Just keeping the arms soft. So this is a different journey, different sensation in the body. A little bit of an uplift through the side body, more obvious here. Don't need to force or strain anything here. So next time we'll take a pause and we'll just slightly change what we do with the hands. You can cope with a little bit more of arm movements. So bringing the hands more to just in front of the sternum. Yeah, I've got the front of my thumbs touching the front of the chest, the sternum. And that's partly a best place to rest the hands, but it's also a reminder that this area here, bony bit here, sternum, just needs to have a little bit of opening, uplift. So again, it's another way of having that sense of feeling like you're awake and alive to the movement through having a little bit of lengthening through the front of the body. So we don't just need to think spine in the center or at the back. We can also think of this area. So just bringing the hands, let the shoulders be soft if you can here. And from here, we allow the arms to float up. We bring the palms together and we come down the center. Yeah, so it's a different ending to the movement. It's not just a repeat, it's a different circuit. So releasing the arms, circling the arms, bringing the hands into the center above your head and back down. So again, you can take the breath in and you could take a breath out. You could try a breath in. Try a breath out, but you don't have to. Yeah, so keep it within what feels comfortable, supportive. Don't pressurize the breath or force the breath in any way. It only ends up making us tense and tighter rather than more relaxed and more free in our movement. We're looking for freedom and space. So next time we're back to our starting place, then we can relax hands back down onto the thighs. So that may help you feel a little bit more sense of length through the spine, a bit more of an uplift from the central area, from the back, through the sternum, the front of the body as well. Okay, so we're going to go walk around. So just thinking about picking one knee up, an opposite shoulder comes forward. So if I'm mirroring you, I've got my right knee coming up and my left shoulder coming forward, and then opposite. So we're basically doing a slightly exaggerated walk where the shoulder comes forward and forward and forward as the opposite knee comes up. Keeping the length if we can through the spine, yeah, still, rather than collapsing. So there's length and then there's a rotation. There's length, then a rotation. So think more of bringing the shoulder forward rather than down. Forward rather than down as the knee, opposite knee comes up. So that's the whole body now having to do a little bit of something, but hopefully not a lot of anything. And that you're getting a little bit of movement in a lot of places. So it's movement in the hips, as well as the shoulders. The whole torso is turning. Your head could either look forward, or you could allow the head to go in the direction the shoulder is inviting it to go in. And then back to center. Okay. So we're going to do a slightly bigger rotation if you wish to give this a try. So I'm going to take my right hand to my left shoulder. So just in the front of the shoulder, if you like. And it's just a support in terms of direction of travel. So I'm going to look over my left shoulder and take my left shoulder slightly back with the hand on it. So again, there's quite a big movement. Come back to centre and look forward. Hand, shoulder go back, and I'll look over that shoulder without straining the neck. So it just kind of the neck comes with me if it wants to. If it doesn't want to go very far, then it doesn't go very far. So I'm keeping, again, that length through the spine. And I am allowing a little bit of rotation in my pelvis. So as I go over to the left, I'm picking my left knee up a little bit to give myself a little bit more space. So one more time, opening up, rotating. Let the left knee come up if it wants to give you a little bit more space to get around. And relax in centre for a moment before replacing opposite hand. So left hand to right shoulder and seeing how we go on this second side. So it's just a sense of the shoulder and the hand. Giving you a little bit of guidance to go in that direction. Travel, which is towards the right. As the head rotates, just to find a little bit more open rotation for the neck. But again, if that's a vulnerable place for you, then you can always just keep your gaze looking more forward. So a couple more of those movements. Let the knee rise if it wants to on that right side. Last one, keeping tall through the spine, through the crown of the head. And back to stillness in centre. So we're unravelling ourselves a little bit through the whole process. We started in the centre and moved through the arms, and we started to do some rotations. So just taking hands onto, I've got the hands on the front of my thighs and my thumbs just slightly resting on the sides or on the hip area. And maybe again, if you've gone back with your bottom to the back of the chair, maybe just come a little bit further forward. And just allow the belly to go in as you round the back. And allow the belly to come out as you slightly arch. You might be able to look up a little bit from that. So belly goes in, shoulders come forward and you look down. Belly comes forward, chest opens, shoulders go back. Belly goes in, shoulders come forward, head comes forward. Belly comes forward, chest opens out, shoulders open out, a little bit of a look up. Belly goes in, belly comes out. And back to centre. Okay, and relaxing the hands, get your bottom back now. Okay, so we've done quite a lot of movement around the centre. We've moved on to the spine, moving it in lots of different directions there. So we're looking to create this warmth, this energy, this lightness in the upper body to just free our bodies up a little bit and to have this experience of like I say, almost unraveling our body through rocking and through moving the spine in different ways and having a link between upper body and lower body in our walking, city walking positions. Okay, so we're just going to have a little bit of rest and a sense of support for the body. And you know, how do we support ourselves? Well, one way is to place a hand in a supportive gesture. Yeah, so you could take one hand to the chest, to the to the heart and just give it a little bit of a gentle circular rub, as if you're kind of just supporting yourself a little bit. Imagine that's a friend just touching and easing or supporting you in some way. Just a soft touch, a reassuring touch, a warm touch, hopefully, to just remind yourself to be at ease and to settle and to just nurture again, as we did with the rocking at the beginning. And we're taking the hand a little lower towards the navel, and rather than rubbing, just let the hand feel any movement in the belly. If there's any movement from the breath, it might be a little movement, won't be much. So having a little bit more the sense of the inside of the body moving to create the belly, maybe slightly expanding on the in-breath and slightly softening on the out-breath. If you like to close your eyes to get a little bit more sense of what it feels like on the inside, then you could try that out. So being connected to the softness inside, the movement inside, the energy inside. Support from that center where we started at the beginning. So finding support, finding some ease, finding some nourishment maybe through just that soft contact of the hand on the belly. Okay, so gently, gently releasing the hand. Hand on hand, and maybe just a little bit of rubbing hands together to warm and stimulate the body a little bit more. Listening to the sound of hand on hand and the movement, maybe rocking again side to side, maybe lifting a leg up and then the other leg up, so a little bit more movement to feel like you're ready to get on with the rest of your day. And we'll finish there. So thank you for joining me for this brief awakening of the center and movements through the spine to just keep ourselves a little bit active and to find an ease in our movement. So thanks again for joining me, and maybe see you again soon. Thanks. Take care.